Hey guys, and welcome to Without Within. This is a visual novel about this girl on the title screen. She is an aspiring calligraphy artist, and let's watch her journey as she follows through her dreams. Let's start. Vinty, Vinty, Vinty. The chants of my fans echoed through the door in front of me. One of my two bodyguards wrapped his hand around the doorknob. "Please prepare yourself, Miss Vinty. Once I open this door, we'll head straight for our limo." The guard had no reason to fret. He had long since grown used to these crowds. Still, I nodded to put him at ease. After taking a deep breath, he pushed the door open. A crowd of hundreds raised their cameras as soon as I stepped out. My guards waved their arms to shoo them away. This red carpet was for me to walk on after all. I blew a kiss to these starstruck peasants. "Miss Vinty, please hurry," my bodyguard said. Too bad for him, I strutted along like a model on a catwalk. A group of reporters managed to worm through the crowd. They now tiptoed over my guards in hopes of scoring that exclusive. "Vinty, how does it feel to have won another Calligrapher of the Year award?" a reporter asked me. Before I could answer, another dozen people shouted over each other, hoping for my attention. "Vinty, may I get a photo with you? Can you sign some autograph for the kids? And two for me, of course." "I can't believe I'm standing this close to Vinty." My fans stamped their dirty shoes all over the red carpet. Finally, my bodyguards pulled out their pepper sprays to keep these fans in check. A young male reached in my direction despite having a spray aimed at his face. Rather admirable for a peasant. I extended a hand for this male fan to kiss. Unfortunately for him, he fainted at the sight of my perfectly polished nails. I reached my limousine at last. My bodyguard opened the door for me, and as I climbed in, my trailing fans snapped as many photos as they could. "Miss Vinty! Miss Vinty!" The crowd chanted as my car window pulled up. How odd! They never referred to me as Miss. Oh, my graceful presence must have been too much for their sanity. These poor things. "Miss Vinty! Miss Vinty!" Dot, dot, dot. Oh. Well, I had fun while it lasted. At least I got to ride my limousine for a good 30 seconds. In real life, my only registered vehicle was, well, my 10-year-old bicycle. My apartment had no space for a car anyway. Actually, this single room with cracked walls might be an insult to the word apartment. Pulled up those curtains for a spectacular $1 view, featuring a sewage pipe and the wall tainted with yellow. Just open the window if you wish to smell the sewage as well. A breathtaking experience. By the way, sorry, I needed to take back one more thing. This place actually had 2 rooms. Thank you very much. The second room happened to be a toilet. That's still counted, right? The toilet clogged 3 times a month, so be careful when using it. "Miss Vinty, Miss Vinty." A woman's voice echoed from the outside. She was no fan, but rather my landlady. I glanced over at my clock. 6 a.m. Waiting another hour or 2 would have been nice. She probably just wanted to tell me about another rent rise. Nothing good ever came out of the woman's mouth. I would better be off staying in my bed. I wonder if the ending will be affected if I chose any of these. So, which one would be funnier? Probably stay in bed? Okay. I snuggled back into my blanket. The landlady could knock all she wanted, but my focus was on my calligraphy dreams. I had no time for these common folk matters. A week later. Turned out the landlady was chasing me for my rent. By the time I realized, she had already evicted me. Now I live in the streets with nothing but my calligraphies. The past few nights had been freezing cold, and I ran out of tissues to wipe my runny nose with. To make things worse, I could feel my head heating up from the upcoming fever. Might I interest you in buying one of my works? I got a 2-for-1 deal today. Oh, okay, batted. So, okay. Let's try again, shall we? Okay, so we don't have a skip option here. Let's try to look around. Okay. No skip button anywhere, so let's just rush through this. Okay, for this one, let's choose Rise and Shine. Coming! As I changed into something more appropriate, the landlady still kept knocking. I said I was coming. Did I not? Maybe I should walk out naked if that was what she dug. If this were a game, we might get a sale boost too. Good morning, Miss Vinty, the landlady said. I must ask, what's with that hair? It looks like you just woke up. That's because I did. It's always for young ladies like you to sleep away your youth. The landlady shook her head. She had no right to preach me like this. I wanted to tell her, but decided against it, as doing so would give her an excuse to lecture me further. With her size, if I enraged her, she would squash me into Vinty-flavored pancake. Miss Vinty, your rent was due 3 days ago. Oh well, at least there was no rent increase. Sorry, madam. My next paycheck will come after tonight's shift, so I'll pay you first thing tomorrow morning. The landlady grunted. Alright, just know that if this keeps up, you'll have to find somewhere else to live. She spun around to leave. When she disappeared behind the corridor, I kicked my door shut, causing a piece of cracked wall to fall off. I tried shoving the piece back into place. The effort resulted in more wall fragments breaking off. Great. The landlady would make me pay for that next month. Once I became an accomplished calligrapher, she would beg for a chance for to shine my shoes, sorry. Hey, I sounded a bit ranty before, but that was never my intention. A lot of famous people had humble beginnings. I would follow in their footsteps, but first, I needed to put in the work. Oh, did I mention that this game is free? It's really cute. Okay, and so I returned to the busiest street in my area. With my calligraphy spread before me, I sat on the concrete and rested my back against the fence. Car horns blared behind me, mixed with people shouting things about each other's mothers. These cars kept expelling fumes that made me choke. Just one of the many things I dealt with in the name of art. Pedestrians took up almost every inch of space in the street ahead. Surely this would be the day when somebody spotted my talent. As always, no one afforded me anything more than a passing glance, and my will soon dwindled. Let me be honest, I never expected to be showered with praise by every head who passed here. What was the old saying? 10% of the people you reach out to will buy your work. I could live with that. Even just 1%, please, anything but 0. I wanted to scream at these people. They had no idea how much sweat I poured into these calligraphies. I would like to see all the endings, so probably rant. I think this will get me to the bad ending. Enough was enough. I sprang off the ground and kicked the fence behind me. The crowd stared as I ranted on and on about their ignorance. It felt so good to let loose. If these people knew how to spot real art, my career would have already kicked off. 2 days later, my eruption made its way to the internet. Guys, make sure to never buy anything from her. She's nuts. Who does she think she is? Spread the news, everyone. We need to make sure people like that never get anywhere. My career was doomed. If I knew one mistake would destroy everything, I would have kept my trap shut. How I wish I could relive that day. Well, you can actually, Vinty. So let's go do that. Oh, next time I probably should load, right? Should save. Okay, so let's skip through the first part again. Okay, for this time, let's persevere. I decided to keep these displeasures to myself. People often said patience would be rewarded. I wondered if my patience would ever become worthwhile. Just as I thought this, a man paused to look at my calligraphies. He had a bucket of fried chicken in his hand. The smell made my mouth water. As the man eyed my works one by one, I felt my cheeks heating up from anticipation. At last, someone who spared more than a moment with my works. This must be my reward. The timing could hardly be more perfect. I summoned the courage to speak with the man, but he spoke first. You're charging for these? I managed a tiny nod. The man snorted. I would never hang these on my walls even if you gave them to me for free. Seriously, this is the most shameless display I've ever seen. Trolls online were one thing. Confronting one in real life was a rarity. Judging from the man's scrawny arms, I bet I could overpower him with ease. Then he would know just how big of a blunder he had made. Okay, for this one, I think attack will get me to another bad end. So before doing that, let's save, but I'm not sure how. There we go. So I think I clicked on something and it saved on its own. Okay, so never mind. Let's click this empty one. I crunch up one of my calligraphies and rose. The man must have sensed my violent intent as he backed a step and shielded his face with a bucket of chicken. I threw a punch at him before he could flee into the crowd. My fist connected with the side of his head. That marked the first time I'd ever hit someone. My knuckles hurt from the blow, but seeing the guy's dropped jaw made it worthwhile. He probably grew up this way because nobody ever dared to punish him. A couple of pedestrians popped in and held me back from attacking the man further. I squirmed against their grips but gave up as my anger waned. Once my breathing returned to normal, the civilians loosened their hold and I brushed myself free. I'll remember this! The man fled from the train station eating another piece of fried chicken as he did so. I hope he choked on it. The next morning, someone knocked on my door. I checked the clock, 5 a.m. When would the landlady cut me a break? Miss Vinty, it's the police. I popped the hand over my mouth as if keeping quiet would make the police go away. They must be here to ask about my assault yesterday. That guy I punched was nothing but talk. I should have let him ramble. God knew what would befall me now. I prayed I would at least be spared a jail sentence. Tears tricked down my cheeks as I buried myself under the blanket. This had to be nothing more than just a bad dream. Yay, another bad end! So hopefully we get all the bad ends here. Okay. For this one, let's restrain. Folks said to ignore trolls. I clenched my teeth and stayed put. After chuckling my face, the man strutted off. Determined to prove him wrong, I continued to sit and wait for potential customers. Another 1,000 people walked by without sparing me a look. Lingering here any longer would be a waste of time. As I packed my things, I insisted I was leaving because my part-time job started in an hour. Deep inside, I knew that the man's words had rocked my confidence. Giving up on calligraphy would mean I had wasted all this time over nothing. Yet, if I lacked the gift, persevering might make things worse. Tears welled in my eyes and I clenched my fist to hold them back. Speaking of tears, I heard a kid crying within the crowd. It looked like we had a lost child in our hands. Some pedestrians shot him glances, but none of them offered more than that. These really were horrible people. To cheer myself up, I told myself I would never want my calligraphies to be owned by people like that. I should help the kid, but that would mean being late for my job. I'm not really sure. I think the kid might buy my calligraphies, but I might lose my job, right? So anyway, let's save again. So which one should I choose first? Help or ignore? Let's try ignore. You think? Okay. Sorry kid, Miss Vinty had a job to go. Convincing myself that another person would help him, I headed off to work. The next morning, the kid from yesterday appeared on the news. The reporter announced he had gone missing. Guilt seized my heart and threatened to crush it. I ended up being just as selfish as the people I had criticized. A lowlife like me had no right to dream about success. I could never return to that place without being tormented by remorse. And so, my little stint as an artist came to an end. Bad end! Okay, let's load again. And this time, let's help. If I judged others for abandoning a child and did the same myself, I would be a jerk and a hypocrite. With a sigh, I walked up to the boy. There, it's okay. Did you lose Mommy? The boy was sobbing too hard to answer. I leaned in to stroke his back with one hand and his head with the other. Let me know if you lost Mommy, okay? I'll help you find her, so there's no need to be scared. The kid managed to nod at last, and I whispered, "Good boy," into his ear. What's your Mommy's name? Hungry. Her name is Hungry? The boy's stomach growled and realized what he meant. Oh well, how about I buy you a sandwich? The kid shook his head. I want ice cream. Hey kid, ice cream is more of a dessert actually. I want ice cream. And so ice cream it was. One for him and none for me. The money came out of my pocket, of course, my poor wallet. At least this kid could have eaten the whole thing rather than let half of it melt on his shirt. Jessie, the boy said. That's Mommy's name. Jessie! Jessie! I called as I strode along the street. Now people stared at me more than ever. Enough to make me blush, in fact. Maybe I should try shouting Jessie at random next time I sold my calligraphies. The sky turned orange as time ticked by. Yes, I knew my shift started half an hour ago. Stop kidding me. A woman squeezed through the crowd and scurried towards us. She ran past the red light, nearly getting hit by the truck in the process. Mommy! The boy shook free of my hold and rushed to his mother's embrace. After muttering apologies to her son, the woman gazed towards me. Oh, thank you so much for your help. You're wonderful, just wonderful. The torrent of praises curled my lips into a stupid grin. Anyone would have done the same thing. Please, if there's anything I can do in return, just let me know, the mother said. Actually, there's something I need help with. The mother nodded. Anything in my power, miss. Which way back to the train station? Interesting story so far. Okay. The sky had gone dark by the time I arrived at work. I opened the restaurant door gingerly to avoid making any noise. Stealth mode switched on. They called me Ninja Vinty for a reason. Miss Vinty. The voices of my boss nearly made me jump into the ceiling fan. Sorry I'm late. I wanted to explain, but my boss glared at me, and my tongue slurred out a bunch of syllables. The explanation was in there somewhere, probably, maybe. I received an earful from my boss, but at least I got to keep my job. Several colleagues shot me frowns for not being here during such a busy period. In the end, I took all the blame without complaint. Well, at one point, I locked myself inside the toilet and screamed into the bowl. I also might or might not have fantasized about dunking my workmates' heads into the toilet. It was for me alone to know, though. At least I earned the paycheck I needed to keep my landlady quiet for another month. As for the month after that, I would see when the time came. All I wanted was to pursue my art, but reality kept pressuring me toward finding a second job. On my way home, I spotted a banner for an upcoming visual novel called Princess Area. The game had long been hyped at every forum I knew. Amazing art along with a cast of famous voice actors. The writer and composer were big names too. For Princess Aria to have an ad this big, there must be a lot of money put behind this project. The way this banner hung high gave me the sense it was extra important. Bright light showed on the princess' face to impress potential players. Yes, that was what I really needed. If I had a banner like that, no doubt people would line up to buy my calligraphy. I could already imagine how folks would react as they walk along the streets. Hey, I think that was Vinty. Wow, no way, you mean the famous calligrapher I see in those banners? Yeah, she must be really good. Maybe I should ask for her autograph. The agent would then step in to speak on my behalf. Please line up in an orderly fashion, everyone. How much for an autograph? Shut up and take my money. My agent nodded in response. Autographs are available for $100, thanks. That would be $100, thanks, the game shop's owner said. Princess Area cost twice what I had predicted. If I bought the game, I would have too little left for rent. I opened my wallet, hoping I might have more cash in hand than I realized. Turned out I had less, actually. I hung my head in the storekeeper's side. His arch brows pressured me into buying the game. I did ride 3 trains to get here. Might as well pick up something. I told the shopkeeper how much money I had and he shook his head. What a jerk, you know. You can't do that to customers. Anyway, the customer owner pulled out from under his table. He brushed away the dust on it so I could see the cover. The title read Sunflower War, some visual novel about a battlefield. Copyright 1997, the bottom read. No wonder it was so cheap. Art by Invert Mouse, whoever the heck that was. The front cover would fit perfectly in a kindergarten classroom. I flipped the case to see what was highlighted on the back. This game supported up to 640 by 480 resolution. Truly the pinnacle of technology. The shopkeeper grimaced. It was of sense I wanted to say no. His stare made my palms stain with sweat, and I ended up buying the game. Wow, what a good salesman. Anyway, dealing with folks like that had always been a weakness of mine. Remind me to never visit the store again. With heavy strides, I returned to my apartment. Zero calligraphy sales, late for work, and with rent top off by blowing cash on some game I had no interest in. What I really wanted to play was Princess Area. Forcing myself to suffer anything else would just upset me further. I don't know. I think in order to push through with the game, we have to play. But let's choose this one first. But save. Forget it. I only bought Sunflower War out of pressure. After shoving the game into my bin, I crawled into bed. For the next few weeks, I tried over and over to sell my calligraphies, but all my works remained untouched. Well, aside from a few pedestrians who stepped on them by mistake. Wait, my bad. I did make one sale. This one guy said he needed my calligraphy to use as toilet paper. I had zero passion left for calligraphy. In fact, just thinking about it fueled me with anger. This was no longer the career for me. Today, I choose to retire for good. Bad end, as expected. Okay, let's go choose the other. I did spend money on Sunflower War, might as well give it a go. The day left me pretty drained, so this relic of a game would do a good job putting me to sleep. I switched on my laptop and inserted a disc, which I partly hoped would fail to load from old age. Too bad it worked just fine. No doubt a lot of people were loving Princess Area right now. Meanwhile, here I was enjoying this 640 by 480 godsend. No voice acting either. These illustrations looked like they were done by a child. I would be better off closing my eyes and imagining my own artworks. The grass reached up to our knees. As I read along, I painted an image of the scene in my head. The plants rustled as we waded through. We paused once every few steps, fearing there might be snakes hiding among the bushes. Somehow we managed to survive the evening. The sun surged from beyond the horizon, outlining the earth with an orange. I could see it. Not only that, but touch, hear, and smell too. An experience crafted by my imagination. The image rivaled the strokes of an artist, and it belonged to me alone. This fulfillment inspired me to take things further. The blast of gunfire, blah blah blah. Finished reading Sunflower War right as the clock struck 3 a.m. How so many people had missed this classic left me dumbfounded. Actually, that would be a lie, as I too had bare intention of tossing this game aside. I kept demanding excitement without offering an ounce of passion in return. If I played my part, I might be able to discover so much more. As Sunflower War's credits rolled, I realized just how small the development group was. The team probably knew they stood no chance against the bigger studios. Yet, they still did with their best with dated technologies to deliver a vision they believed in. Wow, this is exactly what happens with indie games. That's why I always try to support the authors and the game developers. Because, they work so hard on creating their games, even though they know that they stand no chance against big game studios. So anyway, let's go back. The happiness they felt when working on the project poured out of every line in this game. I could gaze right into their heart, the thing I'd long neglected. Mommy, Daddy! Vinty, what is it, darling? Look, it's my calligraphy. Honey, it's calligraphy, but that's great. I think you have a lot of talent. This is so much fun. I'm going to become a calligrapher. I had forgotten the last time I found joy in calligraphy. Every stroke these days felt like grocery chore. All I obsessed over was how much, or rather, how little people paid attention to my efforts. My works no longer possessed heart, and I failed to notice it. Time to do something about that. I could hardly wait to start. After all, I chose this path because I loved it. Wow, this is very inspiring. Okay. The next day, I ventured outside with a new set of calligraphies. Though I made no sales thus far, I still found myself beaming. That might explain why some people smiled back. Perhaps it was the weather, but I swore everyone felt warmer today. Mommy, Daddy! Mommy! There she is, the ice cream lady! A boy dragged his mother in my direction. It was the kid that I helped out yesterday. The mother and I exchanged nods. Honey, the lady has a name. It's rude to call her the ice cream lady. What's her name then? Well, sorry, what was it? It's Vinty. The mother slapped her boy in the back. See? Her name is Miss Vinty. Mommy, can we buy one of those doodles from the ice cream lady? Doodle must be another word for top-of-the-line calligraphy. No other explanation could restrain me from shaking the brain out of this boy. My name was nowhere inside that little brain anyway. The mother checked her wallet, and her face crunched up the way mine often did. All good, madame. I knew how it felt to be living on the edge of being homeless. Please, the boy nagged on. This showed why I would never have kids. The mother relented at last and bought one of my works. Guess the boy wanted to repay my kindness. He gave his hair a ruffle as thanks. After flashing his missing tooth with a grin, he pulled his mother back into the crowd. Well, at least I scored better marks than yesterday. Another man strolled toward me. Wow, I was on a roll now. With heart on my side, my fame and fortune had arrived. Clean my shoes, peasants. Hey, it's you again, a man said. Oh, the troll from yesterday. I calmed my thoughts to avoid causing a scene. Maybe the guy came to apologize. Even a creep like him must know how rude he had been. Yes, my aura had cleansed him from all evil thoughts. Go on, empty your wallet with my greatness. Wow, these new scribbles are even worse than the ones you brought last time. Somehow, I turned into an internet celebrity. Top comment. Damn, snap. She went full crazy, lol. Triangle map 007, Illuminati. She'd be like, why you no buy, haha. More like this might be a good time to look for that second job. Okay, so I guess that's not a bad ending, right? Yeah, so that's the ending of Without Within. It's a fairly short visual novel, don't you think? But I like the idea behind the story to, pursue your dreams no matter how much the world tries to put you down. So just keep the hope alive and just keep doing what you love. So see you guys next time. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Thank you for watching. Bye.